Welcome, Aquarius, your in-depth weekly astrology overview and zodiac forecast for week commencing the 27th of April for the ascendant, the sun, or the moon. Going to outline the big themes of the week ahead first, then share on screen your event chart as we come into the week. Always provides an influential backdrop. I'll then go through each of the influences frame by frame to give you a clear picture, Aquarius, of what you can expect by the end of the video in terms of your energy, work, relationships, and finances. I'm astrologer Patrick Arundel. A very warm welcome. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, please do so now to help it to continue to thrive. But please also click or tap the bell notification symbol. Both your ruling planets of Saturn and Uranus are right in the celestial mix this week, Aquarius, but so is Pluto, currently resident in your sign. How will this play out? Well, we start the week with Uranus newly arrived in the sign of Gemini, where he's going to be for the next 7 years. Gemini is very much about quick communication. Venus is there too, adding charm. But what we have with the fifth house for you personally is where you can showcase your unique talent. And that duo give you a glorious opportunity to emanate those talents immediately from the off this week. But there is a little bit of a contrast because the sun starts the week and ends it in the more protective and sensitive fourth house, very much to do with your home and emotional environment. But that's been squared over the weekend by the power of Pluto in your zodiac sign. So something that's important for you as an individual, if there's some part of your existence, family responsibilities, a family relationship, someone's different viewpoint that seems to be stopping you going for doing something that is that much more exciting, that could cause some frustration. But Venus is going to go on this week in Gemini to forge stunning links. It starts with a beautiful one to Neptune, then to Pluto itself, then to your traditional ruler of Saturn. Which brings us to the full moon, the 1st of May in the water sign of Scorpio. It's that classic work-life balance, Aquarius. You may find there's a little bit of a juggle, and it could be that as much as nurturing the root of your world is important to you at the moment. I think because of all the energy that's in Aries, passion, and that duo in the sign of Gemini, articulating your ideas, it may be that you're just not really quite giving that emotional and nurturing part of your situation so much attention. And the full moon could flag that up. But such as the excitement with this particular week and the unique connections that are being forged, it probably is the time that you feel you have to seize the moment. I totally would agree. By the end of the week, Mercury moves into Taurus, perhaps gives you an opportunity just to step back a little bit and reflect on what has been quite the week. So on the screen, your event chart. As ever, we need to be mindful of the two lunaries. The moon's in the practical, precise Virgo, asking you to just make sure that your environment and what you're needing to attend to is done in a precise way. But it is in the very deep eighth house, and the sun in the equally practical Taurus could see you wanting to get things done within your home. Maybe the tension could come up because with Pluto in that square over the weekend with the sun, if you're waiting for contractors to get back to you, that can often be very frustrating because the desire is to push things on. That may be a bit exasperating. But that combination of Uranus and Venus, it is so stunning. And because Venus links back to Neptune, your words can take on quite the compelling. So if you are a writer, you can certainly express yourself with great imagination, but also because of Mercury, great wit. But Mercury's in a square with Jupiter at the start of this week, which can give you a lot of enthusiasm, but don't promise to do more than you really need to. But Mars, of course, in the third house gives you more passion for your ideas. So I think your ideas need to sparkle, and Venus can certainly be the conduit. But initially, her link to Neptune suggests if there is someone that you're really drawn to at the moment, you could find yourself with a difficulty of getting them out of your thoughts. And then Venus links back to Pluto by Tuesday. If you do talk together and there is some kind of connection, it could feel all the way to fated. But then Venus moves forwards and links back to Saturn. So if you really like that person, or there is a person you've been seeing that you're happy with, the relationship can get a lot closer this week. Just in terms of the element, having Uranus in the fifth house, but in Gemini, is so much better for you after those 7 years of having Uranus in a very, very challenging fourth house. So I think that's something to really be excited about. But when it comes to balancing that work-life dimension, yes, that can be a challenge towards the end of this week. And that's Mercury moving into Taurus on Sunday is a chance just to take a breath and perhaps think about all that's been going on. It will potentially be one of the most stimulating and exciting weeks for many a moon. I'm going to summarize the four areas of energy, work, relationships, and finances next. But just to say, I've slashed the price of the personal horoscopes. You can now get three for the price of one. And the one you pay for is your life roadmap report, which helps us to understand the patterns that are played out in our lives, get a more intimate understanding of those patterns, but helps us to guide our future moves more astutely. But the free charts are your 12 months transits and also your draconic soul karmic chart. Brilliant. That is a different type of astrology. And three for the price of one. Why? Because I know people are feeling the pinch, but also I'm very passionate about people engaging with natal astrology to understand how to navigate their pathway through this life. If you've yet to watch your May monthly forecast, that's on the screen. Your deep dive about Uranus, the 1 year forecast of Uranus in Gemini on the screen. If you'd like to work with me one-to-one, pleasure, please see my testimonials below. If you've yet to sign up for your free daily written horoscope fired to your device each morning, please take advantage. It's a great chance to get your early day celestial pit stop. Now, to summarize, I think when it comes to your romantic situation, if you're lucky enough to be footloose and free, but also, open to connection, but also open to socialization, this is a chance to really make things happen. Inevitably, with Uranus in Gemini, technology could feature in that, so that could be through an app, but equally it could be through a local meetup group where you share an interest. But also your words are going to have quite the impact this week, I feel. When it comes to that standoff between Pluto and the Sun at the start of the week, maybe your appetite to do something is a bit before someone's ready to receive your talent. But when it comes to work, Jupiter is in your sixth house through to the end of June. That's helpful. And finances, well, the fifth house can be about speculation. And Uranus, of course, can be about making quick, intuitive decisions. And Venus can be about money. But I think it really depends on your unique circumstances, whether you wanted to take a punt. When it comes to energy, I think the full moon could make you aware if you're being pulled around in quite a lot of different directions. So by the end of the week, I think it's probably a good idea to cocoon yourself away a little more. It's been a real pleasure being with you, Aquarius. I hope you have a great week and look forward to seeing you again soon.